All right, for y'all that do not know me, my name is Michael Onk. I'm a roofer, just like y'all. There's some things that make me unique in this industry. Who here knocks doors? Who here has ever knocked on a door? Okay. I haven't worked for that many roofing companies, so I don't know all that much about numbers and what would be an acceptable number, minimum, maximum. So far this year, I've done $1.2 million. By the end of the year, if the numbers hold, about $2 million. So I'm not like the world's best roofer. But what makes me unique is I have never knocked a door. That's 100% from referrals. So I don't know if you've broken down your gross pay and figured out your net pay from that, but what would an extra $1 or $2 million do for you? That's what I want to teach you how I've done today. So I market 100% on Facebook. I don't spend any money on marketing. Well, that's not kind of true, but I spend it on the back end. I'll get to that later. It's all from my network. It's all from the way that I post on Facebook. And basically, I've broken it down. I've named the things that how social media works, what you can do, things that are going to get you more leads. The goal here is to get you more referrals. Now, before I tell you any of this, I want you to promise me that if you're hunters, if you can drive by a whale of a house and go, I got to knock on that one. Do not lose that killer instinct. Be like, oh, maybe I can get them on Facebook later. So don't do that. This is meant to supplement what you're already doing. When you have, I don't know, days, weeks in the end of June where it magically rains for a week and you're like, I wish I was able to get more leads like this week. This is the kind of stuff where you can build that referral base up. Referrals are awesome. Okay, everybody likes referrals. I don't know if you've broken down the numbers of knocking on somebody's door and how many people you knock on versus how many have damage, how many have another roofer, how many just don't want a door knocker, how many turn into a deal. What is it? 1 in 50? 1 in 100? Somewhere in there, give or take. But if your aunt calls you and says, I talked to my neighbor Susie and she needs a roof too, and I told her all about you, and here's her name and number, and I said you'd be calling, how many of those turn into a deal? 90, 95, unless they don't have enough damage, basically all of them. It's very rare to lose a referral. Okay, so we want more referrals. That's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so today we'll go over laying the groundwork for getting more leads. So just like anything else, you have to do the work. Every time I go to a sales training or there's somebody that comes to my company and when I used to be an employee and would sit there and tell me how to sell better and things I could do, I'd always nod and be like, that's really great information. And then I'd go out in the field and literally do none of it. I did that for years until one day I was like, maybe all these different people and all these different companies that are telling me the exact same thing know what they're talking about. So I decided to implement some of that stuff. I obviously changed a little bit to fit my personality, but the stuff what I'm telling you, go do it. Who here has Facebook? Great. Who here sits on Facebook you're on the stoplight? Facebook. You're watching TV at home? Facebook. On Sunday, my iPhone tells me how many hours out of the day I've spent on my iPhone and then breaks it down. It just makes you feel, it makes you feel bad. It wants you to know, like, hey, by the way, you wasted 8 hours of your life every day on average this week. I'm like, holy shit. So you're on Facebook anyway. It may as well make you money. Facebook's great because it's kind of turned into more of a business-to-business kind of application. So you're not going to sell much on TikTok. You're probably not going to sell much on Instagram. If you're a realtor or you're selling dresses or earrings, if you're selling widgets, Instagram might work, but you're selling a service. So people need to know you. You need to interact with everybody that you have. If you don't use Facebook, you need to start, okay? Not only are people going to reach out to you for business, but it gives you an opportunity for you to interact with your target market. That should be realtors. That should be insurance agents. That should not be other roofers. Every time I teach this class, I hear back from the people a week later, and they're like, yeah, I added 1,000 friends, and they added 800 roofers. That's not going to help you at all. So do not do that. As much as they will pop up in your news feed and be like, hey, add me. Be like, yeah, you can follow me. So first things first, we need to take a look at your Facebook page. See this quite a bit. I'll go on somebody's Facebook page, and instead of a picture of them, it's a Dallas Cowboys logo, or it's a cartoon, okay, or it's a meme. That does not help at all. Who has thought about hiring somebody for babysitting, dog sitting, whatever, and you went and snooped them on Facebook first. I do it all the time. I can tell you that who predominantly sells to women? Who's the primary decision maker in most of these households? For me, it's almost always the wife. I guarantee you they're doing that. Okay, so they need to be able to see you. Your profile picture should be you. Your big old mug and your company logo, maybe with a background of either a roof or your family or something. If they're on your Facebook and it's just picture after picture of you and your friends doing retarded shit and drinking, that does not speak well. So don't do that. Okay? Sorry, I see it all the time. I cuss. I'm just letting y'all know now.
So do we.
I'm a cusser. Can't help it. Okay?
We got Marines and rugby
players it's basically an art form for me. So we need to take a look at your Facebook page. We need to say, what does it say about you to a potential client? When they see it, your bio should be pretty simple. It should say something about roofing or storm renovation or something like that.
What's your bio say?
Here to help.
Here to help.
Mine got changed because I also own an air conditioning company. It used to say like your HVAC and roofing pro, and I actually got a call from the Texas Department of Licensing that said that was advertising, and I'd take it down. So all y'all that are like really dead set on roofing, become a licensing trade in Texas, be careful what you're wishing for. Be careful. So your photos should be actual real photos of you, not a cartoon, not a funny picture. We need to know if people can actually see you on the internet. I brought some examples. This lady, dog sits for my wife. She posted a picture of a Target shelf with Chick-fil-A sauce on it. Target just keeps getting better, y'all. And she has 25 reactions, 3 comments. See this? 25 reactions, 3 comments. This was me before I started figuring out social media tricks. I copied this picture. I literally went to the photo, copied it. Guess what Target has? Made the exact same post. 443 reactions, 198 comments, 8,900 shares. What is the difference between these two? Other than, it's not the message. It's not me tagging my wife in it. What's the difference?
The Target says it's with somebody?
Yeah, I tagged my wife in this one. She has the option to like or comment or message her. I have the option to like, comment, and share. She has her Facebook profile set to private. She couldn't go viral if she wanted to. Okay? So, and this happens to me quite a bit. My wife went to a place that we do as a charity. It's the Genesis Women's Shelter, and volunteered one night, and I'm looking around the house, and it's Friday, and I'm bored, and the house kind of a shithole. So I thought I'd clean up, and then I did what like any red-blooded American would do, and I took pictures of myself cleaning up, stuck it on the internet. I ended up on the Kelly Clarkson show. Through all the different variations, that now has 6 million shares. It's just me doing the dishes, cleaning, doing the laundry, walking her dog. It just says how to send sexy photos to your lady. 6 million shares. We ended up on TV because I cleaned the house one time. Okay, so these are good examples of setting your profile to private. I know for some of y'all that are like, well, it's my Facebook and I just don't want people messing with me. And like, listen, you can unfriend these people later. By the way, when's the best time to unfriend somebody? On their birthday. Facebook tells you every day whose birthday it is while you're sitting on the shitter. You can be like, don't know you, don't know you. Otherwise, because if you're like, need to trim up your friends list, the A's take it in the shorts. You just go through half the A's and you're like, fuck it.
You saying trim to get it under 5,000 or what?
Yeah, like if you're butting up against 5,000 and you need to make room, if every day you go through your 10 or 12 birthday notifications and remove 8 of those people for a month or 2 or 3, how about it? So, their birthday is probably the best day to unfriend them. If your Facebook profile is set to private, nobody's going to be able to interact with you. If you want people to interact with you, you need to interact with them. I've got a guy who listens to half of what I say at my company and not the other half. He didn't want Facebook, but he got it. I told him he needed at least 1,000 friends, which, by the way, Facebook gives you up to 5,000 friends plus followers. You don't have to peg it out. Like I keep mine around 4,000, so I'm not constantly buffeting up against that max. But I figured out that every Facebook friend you have, especially local, is worth about $5 a month to you. If you've got 4,000 Facebook friends that are potential customers, that's $20,000 in gross revenue. Every Facebook friend. I've followed it from 1,000 to 5,000. That's kind of held true. Yeah, they need to be able to see you. They don't want to go through, and if I'm a customer and I'm going to spend $30,000 to $50,000 with you, and it's one shit post after another, I don't want to spend that kind of money with you. We're just not in the same sphere of influence, okay? So think about that. Go through your Facebook page, clean it up a little bit. Who here's real into politics? Do not post about divisive politics on the internet. And I know some of y'all can't help it. We saw the election results, especially locally. There is no blue wave. There's no red wave. We are split down the middle, 50-50. Keep your divisive opinions off the internet. All you're going to do is alienate half of your audience. So don't do it. And if you've been drinking too much and you post something bad enough on a social forum like a news site, and they go to your site and they see where you're working, they'll go leave 1-star reviews for them. They'll get 50 people to do it. I've seen it happen. You get your ass fired in a heartbeat. Do not do that. So, how people see you on Facebook. I call it Edge Rank. Have you ever joined a group? So if you're into camping or trucks or whatever, and you join a group, it's got 20,000 people, next thing you notice, like every 5th post is that group. That's Edge Rank. If you're friends with me on the internet, you're going to see almost everything that I post. That's Edge Rank. You will increase your Edge Rank by adding friends, having posts that have more likes, comments, and shares. We'll get to that in a minute. And interacting with people. So my person that I was just talking about that does half of what I say adds all these people and just expects the magic to happen. You need to go like people's stuff. You need to go comment on people's stuff. You need to go share people's stuff. Groups are a good thing. Real estate groups are a great thing. Careful with investors. They're really not worth having. But real estate groups are good. Solving problems for people. So if they're like, hey, who knows a good siding person or gutter person or painting person? Keep tagging people. My fiance, or I keep calling her my wife, but she's my fiance. Last year did $10 million in residential real estate. This year she's probably going to do 20. It's unreal. It's unreal. She's great. And she's done it really all from a network of people on Facebook. So like BNI meetings? Who's in a BNI group or something like that?
All of us.
Okay, so if you have a referral team of especially people in moms groups, that's all she does. She's got like one lender, one dog sitting person, one hair person, and they all tag each other in all these different groups. And that's how she gets all her leads. Enough to make $500,000 in real estate this year. It's all from a referral group. So when you're constantly referring the same person for something, that's a great chance to DM them after the 3rd time. Like, hey man, don't know if you've been noticed. I've been tagging you. We like your work. Hey, will you do me a solid? Like next time somebody's looking for a roofer, hit me up. And they're like, yeah, no problem. And then figure it out in the next 2 or 3 weeks. If they don't do it, move on to the next person. Find a group of people that are going to be a referral network for you. Okay, it really, really helps. So Edge Rank is who can see you and who you can see. If you have 1,000 Facebook friends and you make a post, or just a regular old post, it's not going to show all 1,000 people. If you have high Edge Rank like I do, it's going to show it to maybe 400. If you have low Edge Rank, it might show it to 50. Every time somebody likes, comments, or shares that post, it boosts the post. From the second you post something, it's called time decay. You have 70 seconds for somebody to interact with that post. If you were to look at Facebook on a desktop, it goes to what I call the sidebar of doom. You got your main page and then the sidebar. It goes over to the sidebar. Somebody can go back to a post from 12 years ago and comment on it. It starts that time decay all over again. That's why you'll see a post that just pops up from 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago or whatever. Okay, so that's Edge Rank and time decay. There are certain things that Facebook likes. So if you're sitting there wondering, what should I post? You can post any kind of witty content that you want. There are certain things that Facebook does not like links that take you away from Facebook. Have you ever clicked on something, it's like, warning, this is trying to take you away, because Facebook's job is to keep you on Facebook so they can show you ads. So things that take you away from Facebook, warring sites, YouTube and Facebook can hate each other. Okay, so if you post a YouTube link, it's not going to show it to anybody. Copy and paste content. Memes. Remember MySpace? Who's old enough to remember MySpace? And like somebody thought one meme was funny, and the next thing you know, there's 80 people on your page showing you the same meme. Like Facebook figured out, Facebook's algorithm team is fantastic. They figure out what you like and they show you what you like. So if you don't like the Cowboys or you don't like sports, and you never interact on photos or comments about sports, it's not going to show you sports. If you're really into horse racing, it's going to show you every horse racing post that it can find. So same thing with that. Copy and paste content, memes, it filters that stuff out. Short posts, when you're like, had a long day, and it makes the letters real big, it doesn't show that as much as it would a really long, well thought out post. I get the actual most reactions when I spell it out for them, not like a crazy ADD one, but like a good 2-3 paragraphs of, wow, what a day, woke up, power went out, barely made it to my appointments on time, that kind of stuff. This real well, it likes that kind of stuff.
You're saying it doesn't prioritize the really short, large font ones?
Yeah, like in order, it will tell you like the worst things you can post is something that takes you away from Facebook, a warring site like YouTube, copy and paste content or memes, short text, which is kind of in the okay range, long text, which is in the good range, pictures. Facebook bought Instagram. They like pictures, videos.
With the long text, is that because the algorithms are paying attention to how much time somebody is spending looking at what you're doing?
It's content. Facebook wants content. Google wants content. If you have a Google My Business page, like the more content you put on there, the better. Videos, and the absolute best thing it likes is Facebook Live videos. Does anybody know what the #1 fear in America is?
Be alive.
Public speaking.
Correct. You'd think it'd be spiders or ghosts or nope. It's public speaking. What I'm doing right now. People, for whatever reason, it freaks people out and they hate it. So, but Facebook will reward you for it. If you have 1,000 friends and you click that button to go live, about 40% of your friends are going to get a notice that you went live. So make sure you've got, and for whatever reason, when you're scrolling through your video later, it pauses it when your face looks the absolute dumbest. I don't know if y'all noticed that. But I don't know how they did that part. But public speaking is actually the #1 fear that people have. You'll get rewarded for it, recording videos of your work, doing still images of your work. Here's a pro tip. If you go into your Facebook settings, you want the update video in HD, so you're not uploading Civil War footage. We've already gone over time decay. Affinity. Affinity in a nutshell is who you see on your timeline and who sees you. Okay, so the best way that you can get affinity, even if it's with somebody that you don't know, even if you're not friends with them on Facebook, when you go to following, you can see that person first. You have 25 slots that you can see that person first. So you will see every post of theirs. That means you can interact with them, and eventually they'll accept your friend request because you've been interacting with them and hopefully not being weird. Liking their posts, commenting on their posts, sharing their posts. If you are a man and you are interacting with a woman that you do not know, there's a magic number of photos that you can like before it's weird. 1. Okay, if you open up your phone and it's John Smith likes your photo, John Smith likes your photo, John Smith, it's going all the way, but that's very weird. Do not do that. Okay? So seeing somebody first, so you're basically, what I'm telling you to do is, make your dream list of the 25 people that you want to work with. There's some insurance agent that I've always wanted to work with. There's these realtor groups that I want to, get in with. And you interact with them. This is not something that happens overnight. You have to consistently interact with them. And every time they ask a question, who knows a good person for whatever? That's most of what Facebook is asking people who should I use for insurance, buying a car, school tutoring. Like Facebook is actually a giant referral network. Use it for that. Direct messaging is a great way to interact with people. If you slide into somebody's DMs, don't, hey, I do roofing, excuse me, do roofing. Like if you really want an excuse to slide into somebody's DMs, you can share a post of theirs. So what you do is you go back through their timeline and find something where they've donated to an animal shelter or, please pray for my aunt, she's got colon cancer. You share that post. And then a day or two later, then you direct message them and say, hey, I want to introduce myself. I don't know if you noticed, but I shared your post about your aunt. My uncle had colon cancer. It's near and dear to my heart, whatever. That way you can start a legitimate dialogue with that person and you're not just sliding in their DMs like, give me your roofs. Okay? So we did the controversial topics. We have our dream list, the 25 lists that we want to work with. Build value. You ever had to go to a customer's house at 9 o'clock at night because they thought something you did messed up and just, it's July 4th, it's Sunday. Somebody's calling you and asking you to go do something you don't want to do. Post about it on the internet like you love doing it. It's the best way, you know, like, hey, here, service first, you know, whatever. Make a post about it. You may as well get some love on it. Those posts get more love from me than almost anything. If I have to run out to somebody's house late at night or on a Sunday, it's here to help, you know, whatever. And those posts get a lot of love. So if you've got to do something like that, that's not a terrible idea for y'all that interact with a lot of realtors. You can get super access. So as a contractor, you can get super access if you need it. You may not need it as much, but if they need you inside the house to check out rafters, shit like that, you can get super access without being a licensed real estate agent. Now, you can't open up any home that you want. You have to have the CBS code for the listing agent. But if you've got a listing agent that calls you and says, can you check something out while you're there? Can you look in the attic? And, you know, I got to get my kids to, you know, soccer practice, but I can meet you at 7. Be like, well, you know, Miss Realtor, I've got super access. If you have your CBS code, I can get in. And they'll be like, what the fuck's a CBS code? Just be like, call Metrotex. It's typically your real estate license number, but, you know, I've been checked with Metrotex. $200 a year.
That's what it costs.
$200 a year.
What
You
do
get,
they need
you
your
have super
ID
access.
and
Yeah.
do a background.
I don't even think they do that.
Okay.
I don't even think they do that because the only houses that you can get in are the ones where the listing agent gave you access.
You've had that for a few years.
I've had that for 5 years now.
5, yeah.
And I got it through Metrotex. So that's big time value. Solve problems for them. Don't just expect them to come interact with your stuff. If you want to post something meaningful, do it at 9 o'clock in the morning. You'll get 30 likes or comments. And then at noon, go through there and like all the comments and reply to them. That'll boost it up to 60 or 70. Do it again at 5. And before you know it, that one post that would have gotten 7 likes if you posted at 7 or 8 o'clock at night has got 100. Because you posted at 9 o'clock in the morning and you went back throughout the day and commented on it, starting that time decay over. Before you know it, all of your posts will go from that 7 to 20 like comment range to 100 to 300 plus. When your comments and likes go that high, Facebook's just going to increase your edge rank. They're like, hey, this person knows how to use social media. We want to show this person to more people so that they stay on the internet. 9 a.m. is the absolute best time.
All 7 days?
Yeah, if you do it too early, not everybody gets up as early as me. You know, just 9, noon, and 5 are the best times. So if you get a great idea at, you know, 5 o'clock, go ahead and post it. But, you know, if you wait till the next day, great time to do it. We want to solve problems for people.
Is there a way to track your edge rank?
You'll know.
You'll just
Go through your stuff now and look, what does your average post get? My average post gets anywhere from 60 to 200 likes, comments. Before I started doing this, it was 7 to 20. If you're a girl, you'll get slightly more likes and comments and reactions than guys will, but not many.
Is it bad form to steal someone's meme and not credit them somehow, or say with them, or something like that?
So again, Facebook's going to punish you for any time you copy something. For example, I made a post that Jess thought was great, and he's like, that's a great post, I'm gonna post it tomorrow. And he copied and pasted it, he tagged me and everything. But he got way less reactions than I did, and it's not because he's less popular on the internet, it's because he copied and pasted.
I even added.
What if you
Yeah.
change the text?
Yeah, no, that helps. If you physically write it out, they know when you copy it and paste it.
What if you save a photo and crop it by ½ an inch on each side?
I don't know the answer to that.
Did they penalize you on that Chick-fil-A photo that you repurposed?
No. I got 8,900 shares from that. I would have shared that lady's stuff, but her profile was set to private. So I would have done that, but instead I copied it, and hey, guess what Chick-fil-A has? And I'm like, holy shit, 9,000 shares. I'm like, God.
Crazy.
Happens like once a month.
So sharing is much less effective than sharing and writing your own post above it.
Correct. Yeah, you're making a new post at that point.
Right. But if you just share it, does that carry that negative effect? Or
No.
if you just share
When I first started doing this, I made 5 posts a day, and it sucked because I'm like, what the fuck am I going to post about? Like, you can go to places for content. If you go to Reddit Shower Thoughts, you'll hear the craziest content. There's that Simon Dad guy on Twitter that's always saying funny. You know, you can borrow other people's content, and you never have to pretend like it's your own. Like, yeah, you know, I got that. You can ask questions. Is a hot dog a sandwich? You'll get 300 people that argue over it. So if you ask questions on there, that's a great one. If you just post roof, boring.
How often do you post what you do or something about what you do?
So I use the same advertising philosophy that most television stations use. Most TV stations have an 80-20 advertising rule. 80% content, 20% advertising. At least now they do. So yeah, every 8 posts is, here's a picture of a house my wife's showing. Here's a picture of our dog doing something. Here's this steak I'm grilling. 4th post is, check out this pimp roof I'm doing. So if you just roof, you'll notice your edge rank goes down. Nobody wants a roof. Now they want cool pictures. If you got cool pictures of ones, they like that. Or hey, have you ever thought about doing this to your roof? Like those, you're asking questions. People will engage with you on that kind of stuff. But if all you're doing on social media is stalking people, and I don't mean stalking them, but not commenting, not interacting with them, nobody's going to know who you are. If you're helpful, that's the best advice I can give you. Anytime somebody asks for advice, have a list of people that because everybody asks for the same 20 things, it seems. Have a list of people that you know and tag them. Then after the 3rd time you tag somebody, DM them. Hey, I keep tagging you. Show me some love. Ask them nicer, but you know that's essentially what you want.
You mentioned groups to stay away from, like property or real estate investors are always super cheap. Are there any others?
Yeah, investor groups are okay. Investor groups are okay. So I've got a couple investors that I do like working with. I don't make shit on their stuff, but they will refer me to other people. And we have that understanding, and I'm like, hey, listen, I'm going to do this roof for what it costs plus X amount of dollars. I'm not doing anything. You know, if we rip it up and you need something else done, it's absolutely not my problem, but I'll do it at cost plus if you send me, you know, whoever, and I get a couple roofs a year from each one of those kind of people. I got about 18 realtors in total that send me deals, but I really have about a half dozen that just send me everything. And they're high volume realtors, and they send me 12 roofs a year to look at. And if they're sending me one to look at, about half those turn into deals. Sometimes it's just the inspection report, damaged shingles. I get out there and I'm, you know, hey, there's just not enough here. I don't stretch it with them at all. I'm not, my biggest deal is, and I mean this, is not to mess up the real estate transaction. It's Texas. Every roof we get on's got a couple dings. But if I get up there and it's, you know, there's 3 hail hits here and 1 ding on a metal, I'm like, listen, let's not hold up a real estate contract over this. They will love you for that and they'll send you everything. But if every roof you get to, you're like, oh yeah, we need to call this one in, like they're going to smell that. People's bullshit detector is way better than you think it is. They'll smell that real quick and they'll stop using you. You know, realistically, if you've got 20 mutual friends, yeah, if you don't know somebody, or like if you're mutual friends with me and we've got 100 mutual friends and I click on our mutual friends and it's like 100 really hot girls, I'm like, come on. Like your target market is realistically anybody that's a homeowner in DFW, realtors, insurance people. That should be your main group to focus on. So add realtors. That's the absolute best people you can be networking with. Realtors, everybody hits, so my wife's a realtor. Everybody hits up a realtor and says, hey, if you ever need a plumber, if you ever need whatever, they always hit her up and ask for business, but nobody ever gives her, you know, nobody ever says, hey, I need to buy or sell a house really that's trying to get business from her. So be honest with them. The amount of people that I'm going to send you versus you sending me is very slim. Sorry about that. But what I can do is solve problems for you. You know, you're going to need something done last minute. You're going to need somebody to put dirt around a foundation or stain a fence or do caulking or whatever. Like I've got a group of contractors you can use for anything.
Absolutely.
Build value. Mean it.
Thank you, Mike. Everybody.
Not a problem.
Appreciate you, man.